Voting is useless. Tinubu controls the National Assembly, Judiciary, Inec. It is a quasi-military democracy, Femi Okurounmu stated. Dr. Femi Okurounmu, a prominent elder statesman and Afenifere leader, has voiced strong criticism of Nigeria's current democratic state under President Bola Tinubu's administration, describing it as a quasi-military democracy that undermines core democratic values. According to him, expressed that Nigeria has deviated significantly from the democratic principles of the Federal Republic, noting that the period from 1960 to 1966 represented a high point in Nigeria's democratic governance. During that time, the country operated under a British parliamentary system, which he highlighted included a recognized opposition in parliament to provide checks and balance and ensure government accountability. Political parties were also free to choose their own candidate and establish fair electoral rules. Is it his fault? It is the fault of politicians. All they are after is their own pocket. They are not coming to serve the country but to serve themselves. And that is why in the morning they are in party A, by evening they are in party B because of personal gains. And that is why this thing that Okurounmu is saying is not new. It is for us as Nigerians to begin to see how we can get it better, how we can change the narrative. Otherwise, politicians are more united than the populace. They know what they want and they go for it. In contrast, Okurounmu criticized today's electoral system as one heavily influenced by powerful interest rather than reflecting the people's will. He argued that voting has become largely symbolic, with true decision-making power concentrated among independent National Electoral Commission officials and government insiders rather than with Nigerian citizens. It is not our votes that count. They know how they have been manipulating things and getting whatever they want, because sometimes you can't imagine a party that is not performing. At the end of the day, they will go for election and they will still come out tops. Is it the people that voted them in, or they brought themselves back through connivance of electoral commission members? The people are supposed to go to vote, but voting has become a complete sham. They go through the motions, but the actual choices of the people rarely count. Okurounmu said instead of it is Inec and those with government interest who make the real decisions. We go through the motions of elections, but others decide for us who the winners are. That and this is what we see, and it is not democracy. Okurounmu further criticized Nigeria's presidential system, which he claims concentrates excessive power in the hand of a single individual. We have a system where all executive powers are vested in one man. If that man has a tendency towards absolute control, then we effectively lack institutions in the country. One man controls the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary, the police, and the Inec. He said, this is the kind of democracy that we have today in Nigeria. Is that what we call a democracy? He asked, underscoring his concerns about the concentration of power and the erosion of democratic process. All this na grammar. We all know what is happening in the country, but because the politicians are more united than the electorate, there's nothing we can do. In other clime, when a party is not performing, it is the citizens that have the power to go out there with their vote and change whatever they don't want to see. But in our own country, even if you want to vote, And that is why there's apathy. Anytime it is time for people to go and vote, you will hear 10 million registered voters. At the end of the day, less than 1 million will bring in the elected, either as a governor or as senators. And that is why we'll continue to lament until we begin to do the needful. While Okurounmu have said his own, let's hear what the people are saying. Nigeria is not practicing democracy. We are just deceiving ourselves. Tinubu will rule for a maximum of 8 years, and power will definitely shift to another individual. No matter what the arrangement between Tinubu and who comes in after him, he will not be in charge. So those of you who are supporting the dangerous and anti-democratic action by Tinubu will live to enjoy even a more dangerous anti-democratic actions. The new man and his own tribes of supporters will cite the precedent set by Tinubu's regime. Gradually, the country is heading to a dictatorship. Emphatically right. Number one example is the Edo State governorship election. It was the Inec and the security agencies that were giving marching orders to deliver Edo to APC. Do you have your evidence? This one that you are saying it is Inec and police that was giving marching order. Who gave them the marching order? It is not about Tinubu or Buhari, but about Nigeria. Some of the tribal bigots hate to hear the truth because of sentiment. The man just said the truth. Nigeria cannot move forward or develop because of this nonsense. They are deceiving themselves and call it democracy. Nigeria has not moved forward since independence. You people just have open mind on messages and forget the messenger. But Bajo said that nothing but the truth. If you like, keep suffering and clapping for your slave masters. He does not even know if you exist or not. Voting is very useless in this present Nigerian system. Nigeria has never practiced democracy. Read deeply about democracy and prove me wrong. Well, if you think you need tribalism to get to power, then Nigeria can never move forward. Judiciary, National Assembly forget they are co-equal arms of government. Because the executive allocates money, they are scared to tackle them and demand accountability. When we get to true democracy, everyone will operate independently and will move the nation forward. But until then, we are not practicing democracy. Well, that is the opinion of the people. What is yours? Kindly make it known as you subscribe to this channel.